work at the NSC, were you not assigned at one time to work on plans for the continuity of government in the event of a major disaster? Mr. Chairman.
I believe that question touches upon a highly sensitive and classified area, so may I request that you not touch upon that, sir.
One of the programs that got exposed during Iran-Contra was Rex 84. Congressman Jack Brooks, in those hearings, brought up the fact that in reality, FEMA was a cover for a huge continuity of government program in case the American people ever rebelled. And that was the architecture of the blueprint for the illegitimate shadow government to fully take over the functions of the entire federal government, suspend the Constitution, suspend the Bill of Rights, and arrest whoever they wanted to. And FEMA was going to control the camps that the people were going to be put into. And FEMA would be the main governmental institution with different directors over every agency. And now when you watch FEMA on television, it's always a colonel or a general or an admiral in uniform who's over the different departments.
The martial law portions of Rex 84 were outlined in a 1982 memo written by FEMA Deputy John Brinkerhoff. Martial law was to be declared in the event of a national crisis, yet the plan did not define the term national crisis. The plan allowed FEMA to take control of both federal and state governments, appointing military commanders to replace duly elected officials. The plan also called for the rounding up of at least 21 million American Negroes for delivery to numerous military bases converted into prison centers, also known as FEMA relocation camps. Why? Because at that time, African Americans were classified as one of the largest threats to the continuity of the federal government. Who does the federal government consider the biggest threat these days?
The convergence of globalization and technology has created a new brand of terrorism. There were persons who, for whatever reason, came to view their home country as the enemy.
Kind of right-wing, religious-based domestic terrorism.
Disturbing news tonight about homegrown terror.
Part of this is a big change in the White House, a new cultural experience, and some of the crazies are coming out of their closet.
Right now, it looks like there is no connection between the men arrested and any known terrorist cell. Homegrown. Homegrown, I should say.
Folks, we've got a very serious situation here. I'm holding what is called the right-wing extremism, current economic and political climate, fueling resurgence and radicalization and recruitment. And in it, we talked about the fact that they define pro-lifers as domestic terrorists. They put this in a Department of Homeland Security document, this official assessment, now saying pro-lifers, people that believe in end-time prophecies, people that are opposed to the administration's position on immigration, those of us that are standing up for the sanctity of life and for the sanctity of marriage, all of those are now potential, and this is what they're saying, domestic terrorists.
It's a terrorist next door that could be our bigger threat.
They call people who believe in the sanctity of life, who believe in owning firearms, who believe in serving their country in the military and coming back, who are very concerned about the policies that this nation is embarking on, spending too much money, taxing too much. It's all listed right here. These are the domestic right-wing extremists.
1 million names under the watchful eye of the United States. America's so-called terrorist watch list has hit the record number according to one of the country's most prominent civil liberties groups.
That's a lot of people to keep track of. They're adding new people all the time.
It's a secret list that you don't know really quite how one gets on and you don't know how you get off.
First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kodash, and the Milestones Great Millstone, Wild Lunch's Truth, and also to those elect that are scattered abroad. I'd like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great, powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is the coming plan. So I'd like to say, Shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a quick Google search in the definition of continuity of government. And it reads that continuity of government, says COG, is a coordinated effort to ensure that the government essential function continue during an emergency or a what, some type of event, or what, civil unrest, civil war, all hell breaking loose. So we already knowing about the election, and tension is rising. It's already saying that post election, the outcome of these elections, whether win or lose, either way, that it's saying there's going to be some type of event, some type of civil disturbance, civil war. It's all in the air. So right now it's just playing. I think I don't know what the date was. It's Rex 84, and also it's saying they the people that was that they had targeted was 21 million Negroes. They say they had them on a list. Right now, FEMA have a list today, and who still are people that they say that will be a problem. They're talking about the people of color, which in fact, the Negroes, the Latinos, also the Native Indians. I'm talking to you. The thing's about to get real. The devil's getting ready to come down with great wrath in the middle of the Lord. We're constantly warning you left and right. They're putting it right in your face. And one thing about it, the Lord is constantly, it's moving the chess pieces around. The Spirit of the Lord is moving through the earth. And one thing about it, we already know we're on the verge of all hell breaking loose. Let's read this once again. It says here, continuity of government, COG, is a coordinated effort to ensure that the government essential function continue during an emergency or a takeover. Pretty much, that when you seen the first video, I don't want to go into too much detail with it. You go back and watch it because you already know how YouTube get down. But anyway, we know that famine of the word is fast approach. So this is basically a takeover of America. They getting ready to make this a military or a police state environment whereby when you go to that the Trump, what he want to bring forth if he get in office, Project 25. Also you look up the King Alfred plan, also Operation Lockstep. A lot of these things are coming into play. Also Jade Helm, look that up. They constantly, they was doing a mocked some type of terrorist attack that happened in America. They get ready to bring it forth. So if this actually happened, some type of catastrophe or some type of disaster or some type of civil disturbance or civil unrest, protesting, rioting, sedition among men, city against city. We already know that the nation is divided. We know they cannot stand. So we already know FEMA in collaboration with the UN. So they're gonna bring in these troops. And a lot of our people right now still think, oh, this is not going to happen. That's not going to happen. It's happening right before your eyes. So let's get a little bit more out of this. It says a result of continuity of operations and is critical for providing a rapid response to a disaster or a event or civil war. So one thing about it, hey man, they putting it dead in your face. And also they're telling you about these so-called FEMA camps or relocation camps or re-education camps, or these quarantine facility or chipping state. You understand what I'm saying? So one thing about it, we know that the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath in the middle of the Lord. We're constantly warning you left and right. Continuity of government. When you get around to look it up. Also, look up Rex 84 or Project Rex 84. Look up the King Alfred plan. Look up Operation Lockstep. Look up what's that other one? Jade Helm, and many others. And also we know that they're using this heart manipulating weather machine, like what happened in North Carolina, Asheville. They already setting the stage, for what's getting ready to come. They want total control. The NWO, they putting it in place right before your eyes. And also we know about that grain of rice. So one thing about it, we already knowing that this, when the enemy coming like a flood, the Lord has got to lift up that standard. If you're not a part of the elect, you're going to be totally destroyed. Let's get this little bit right here. Then we're going to get another article. So we know that tension is rising. See what this says here. It said continuity of government is the principle So like principle of establishing defined uh, uh, procedures that allow a government to continue its essential operation in case of a catastrophe, a catastrophic event such as nuclear war. So one thing about we know that is coming also, and also we know that I'm saying there's already rumors or breaking news that Iran is right now. I think as I speak, if I'm not mistaken, that they're getting ready doing airstrikes. They are bombing Israel. As if I'm not mistaken, I seen a video clip. So many things are coming out, we can't hardly keep up with it. So they're saying that they're going to take over, the government in case of some type of catastrophic event, which in fact nuclear exchange, which in fact we know that no one will be left here in Babylon the Great, so, and also this civil unrest, lock down everything, martial law, all these things come into play. Something else I wanted to get right here. It says here the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, said manage the COG. See that? FEMA, it managed the COG, the continuity of government. It said activities, said for the executive branch, while the architect of the capital managed COG activities for the legislative and judicial branches. So we're seeing right now that that FEMA is going to play a major part, also in collaboration with the UN, also with Russia, China troops, also these super soldiers. What they're gonna bring in here, also these sleeper cells. A lot of these things are getting ready to come into play. So it's getting ready to be a event that you have never seen before. And one thing about it that we constantly warn you about, great tribulation is right upon us. And these elections, I think it's about 9 or 8 days away. So we're waiting whether win or lose. We really don't give a damn. We already know how the story is going to end. And one thing about it, we already know that the victory is ours. So whatever they try to do is not going to work. The Lord is in perfect control. So now let's get this right here. And also we know about they in Asheville, setting up, I think it said for 700 people, that's going to go on this site, and also they're going to have it under military guard. So we already know they slowly putting the pieces into place. While you're sleeping, the devil's constantly getting busy. We constantly warn you left and right, and you already know who they are coming for. The people of color. They're going to blame everything on Jacob. And one thing about it, but the Lord said, what? Jacob shall be saved out of Jacob's trouble. We're at the beginning of Jacob's trouble. We're constantly warning you left and right, but these things are rolling out right before our eye. Any given day, these things could happen right upon us. And one thing about it, how will you be prepared? And the only way you will be be prepared is through who? Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, if you're part of the elect. The Lord is only coming back for that 1/3 remnant, the house of David, the true believers of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. The Lord is coming. We're constantly warning. Let's get the title of this here. It said in post-election, said violence, it said invertible, said win or lose. So we seeing right now that either way it goes, they're saying that, something is getting ready to occur. Whether if this woman get in or is this man get in, does not matter. These things are putting in play, they're putting in play, but it's a part of the plan. The bigger plan is what? Total control, coming into your house and dragging you out of your house, putting you into one of these relocation camps or one of these quarantine camps or re-education. And also we already know who is on the list. Already said that the people that are teaching end time prophecy, that was one of them. And also if you going against what they're for, if you don't want to take it under the skin. And also in the other thing, you're going to one of these relocation camps, you're going to one of these chipping stations, you're going to one of these quarantine stations. You understand what I'm saying? These guillotines will be there. All sorts of torture or measures they are going to use. And one thing about great persecution, it's upon us. And one thing about we're constantly warning you left and right, they're going to introduce that that grain of rice. Also, they introduced that hokey pokey once again. And one thing about it, to try to make you a walking device. We're not ignorant of Satan what device. We're not ignorant of Satan what technology. We're not ignorant of his AI, his transhumanism. We're not ignorant of anything this man is trying to do. It will not work. And one thing about it, we're seeing it happening right before our eyes. Let's read this once again. It said, in post-election, violence is invertible, win or lose. So that's what they're looking for. So they saying, I think at the Capitol, they were saying they're beeping up a lot of military presence, and they putting up fencing, a lot of things that they're trying to do to prepare. And also, and one thing about it, we don't know whether it might be another assassination attempt on Trump or this woman. You know, we're going to see how it goes. We already know that this devil is getting ready to bring it. You know, it could be a Black Swan event. All sorts of things are getting ready to happen. We know that they already have everything in place. And one thing about it, when it starts, we already know that FEMA is going to be the first one on the scene. Also, we know that these sleeper cells going to be the first thing on the scene. Also, we know that all sorts of violence that you have never seen before is getting ready to occur. The military is getting ready to come in here. There won't be any police, no law enforcement, none of that. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it is going to be what? Kill or be killed. You know what I'm saying? Egyptian against Egyptian. That's what we're seeing, how things are lining up. And I have two more videos, but we're going to bring out two precept, then we'll go to the video, and I hope that you will get edified. Let's go here first to 2nd Ezra, because this is where we at. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 15 said, For the sword and their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So we right at that particular time, these elections, countdown to what all hell breaking loose. And we already know the modern day sword is the gun, all sorts of weaponry, also knives, swords, you know what I'm saying? These things, baseball bats, anything that they can use as a weapon. We're coming upon that time. So we're coming upon a lawless time, you know what I'm saying? And it said, one people shall stand up and fight against another. Civil war, you know what I'm saying? Protesting, rioting, looting, you know what I'm saying? People, women's going to be getting raped. Men's going to be getting raped. You know what I'm saying? Your whole family might die right in front of your eyes and stuff like things are getting ready to happen. And one thing about it, we hoping and praying that we're part of that elect number, that the Lord will come and deliver us with great glory and great power. We know that the Lord is at the door. And also we seeing that things is constantly picking up in the Middle East, also between Russia and Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? These Arab nations are bucking up. These African nations, you know what I'm saying? Everyone is against the whore. They shall burn the whore. So we seeing right now, this is, man, the stage is set. They bringing out these movies, Civil War, or what is the other one? The Purge. Also talking about leave the world behind, and one that is getting ready to leave the world behind. This old earth age is the elect. You know what I'm saying? We ready to leave the world behind. You know what I'm saying? Even though they put that in that movie, but one thing about it, that he's constantly showing you what he's getting ready to do. And what they call it conspiracy theory, but it's looking just like the truth. You know what I'm saying? The truth is being declared. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So because one thing about it, that they're not going to regard anyone. They're not going to regard the military. They're not going to regard law enforcement. They're not going to regard each other. They're not going to regard the government. You know what I'm saying? It's getting ready to be a time of trouble that we've never seen before. We're constantly warning you, left and right, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So people right now is going to be bugged out of their mind. A lot of people are going to be afraid. A lot of people are going to give up the ghost. And also a lot of people are going to line up like clockwork and take that grain of rice. It shall go into your right hand or into your forehead, because they're afraid. They don't have works, and they don't have faith. And everybody getting ready to crumble like a cookie. And one thing about it, right now they're talking shit about the prophets, right? Scoffing and mock. But when that time of trouble comes, they're going to bitch up. And one thing about it, the Lord already know he got a special plan for you. The Lord said, I would choose your delusion, because, hey, when the Lord called, you did not answer. Verse 17. He said, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because of what? FEMA, because of what? These martial law troops coming in here. You know what I'm saying? Setting up these relocation camps, these 15-minute cities, these smart city, you know what I'm saying? Hey, the list go on, these checkpoints, you know what I'm saying? You will not be able to go if you don't have the right paperwork all under your skin. You understand what I'm saying? See, these things are right before our eyes. It's manifest. It's obvious and clear that we're living in the end time, real time. We're very excited. We're very close to the second coming of our Lord and Savior, our great deliverer. You know what I'm saying? Yahushua Mashiach. We cannot wait. We're very close. And one thing about it said, once again, say, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able because of what? These what? In collaboration, FEMA, martial law, they're gonna have what we call like a police state. UN troops, these blue hats gonna be in here. China and Russia troops, they're gonna be invading one another like madmen, sparing none. So these things are getting ready to happen. They getting ready to tear America apart. But this is all by design, not by the white man, the red man. All by design of who? Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. The Lord is devising this. You know, the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place in 1 hour. Thy judgment come. The indignation of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, that righteous anger is right upon us, and we cannot wait. Verse 18, he said, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. These ones, they're going to be like, well, whining. They're going to be travailing like a woman with child. Great desperation, great sorrow, great mourning. It's right upon it. Death and destruction. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because the lack of bread and great tribulation. You know what I'm saying? These cyber attacks, these rolling blackouts, you know what I'm saying? No food, no water. You know what I'm saying? It's getting ready to be a desperation, you know, a time of trouble that we've never seen before. So the Lord is going to break the staff of the bread. Your necessity, your way of life is getting ready to change overnight. This place is getting ready to be a third world country. What are you going to do when you haven't eaten in a couple of days? What are you going to do when you haven't had water in 24 hours or more? What are you going to do when you get in these uncomfortable situations when you don't have any shelter? It's cold or it's hot. You know what I'm saying? You haven't bathed in several days. You're on the run. You're exhausted. You know what I'm saying? All these things are getting ready to set in. And one thing about, we know that about the American peoples, you know, they're, you know, very spoiled. They're fed off the hog. You know, they have not been war has not came to America's soil, but it's getting ready to come to America. This place is getting ready to be a war zone. And the men of the Lord, we're constantly warning you left, right. It's time to wake your ass up and seek your true power while he can be found. Because one thing about it, it is at the door, whether you believe it or not. We really don't give a damn. So now let's go here. Because we getting ready to get the hell up out of here. We ready to go. Let's get this one right quick. It says here, Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12 says, therefore rejoice ye heaven, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. And one thing about it, he knowing that his time is running out. He know his time is up. He's seeing that his days are determined, and he's getting ready to use his greatest sword. You know what I'm saying? This technology, this pseudoscience. You know what I'm saying? It's counterfeit power. You know what I'm saying? And also that greatest sword, the what? The IBCM missile. But the Lord is going to be in the midst of those missiles. They're going to hit. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to miss their mark. And one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place. We cannot wait for what? The controversy of Zion. It's payday. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it is our time to rule. And we cannot wait. So let's get this one more here. Let's go here to Matthew chapter. You know what? I tell you what. Let's get this one more. Let's get this one here. Matthew chapter 12. Matthew chapter 12. It's just the spirit, just rolling in the spirit. And man, we're so very close. We're very excited, you know. And one thing about it, we knowing that the evil is sown, but the evil is sown right now. This tribulation period that we have never seen before has got to come forth. And one thing about it, you know, to usher in the kingdom of heaven, you know, that is sown in good. That's what we're constantly longing for, to get out of these new bodies, you know, get out of this nightmare, man. We cannot wait. Matthew chapter 12 and verse 25 said, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So that's exactly what we're seeing. This place is very divided. We already seeing it in these elections. You know what I'm saying? The win or lose. We already know this place is going to go. You know what I'm saying? It's getting ready to go. You know what I'm saying? At any given time. We already know, things are constantly picking up. Tension is constantly rising. Let's read it in the NLT. So Yahweh knew their thoughts and replied, any kingdom divided by civil war is doomed. A town or families are splendid by feuding will fall apart. Exactly what's getting ready to happen. America is getting ready to fall apart. America is getting ready to be totally destroyed. There will be no inhabitant left here. This place is getting ready to be a lake of fire, the second death. If you're not a part of the elect, you will be joining everyone that came up against Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, and also his prophet, his hands, his mouthpiece. And one thing about it, man, hey man, we almost at the end of this thing. Verse 26 said, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? How shall his kingdom stand? We see it right now. The Lord is, the physical counterpart to say is the so-called white man, the modern day Egyptian, the modern day Assyrian. And the Lord is putting them, putting the chess pieces together like that clockwork. He's getting ready to let them kill each other, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. We get ready to watch this show, for an aerial view and that great fathership when the Lord pull up, that sea of glass, man. Oh, man, we hoping and praying that we're part of them. So now I got 2 more videos, and after the video, we'll get a few more precepts, and I hope that you will get edified. Let's get these 2 more videos right quick.
Set up, and here are the locations that they are operating today. And it is Black Mountain, Highway 9, 550 Highway 9 in Black Mountain. Also the AB Tech shelter at the AB Tech Conference Center, and that's between the Conference Center and the parking deck. Pack Square Park, downtown Asheville. Also the community of Emma. There's a Spanish-speaking unit there at 528 Emma Street. It's 528 Emma Street. Newbridge Baptist Church at 199 Elkwood Avenue in Asheville. Also near the laundry use trailer at the Basilica of St. Lawrence down on Haywood Street. And that's at 97 Haywood Street at the Basilica. And Isaac Dixon Elementary on Hill Street. That's a new one, I believe. At Isaac Dixon Elementary, 125 Hill Street in Asheville.
And don't forget our friend Rachel. She's still hanging out at Publix.
Yeah, that's right.
She's not affiliated with FEMA, but she's helped out a lot of people who live closer to the South Asheville area. She's there with her laptop, helping folks out. I also want to...
Understand they already have concentration camps in the United States of motherfucking America that they've been building for 4 years now. And the question is, who in the fuck is you finna put in there?
Okay, check this out, guys. Here we are at the FEMA Re-Education Camp at Camp Atterbury, Indiana. It's about 50 miles south of Indianapolis. It's an active military base. I'm here on a World War II reenactment. We have clearance to be on the base. I figured I'd give you all a glimpse of what a FEMA Re-Education Camp really looks like. Now tell me why you have a bunch of FEMA trailers surrounded by concrete barriers and chain link fence. And not only that, you have guard towers at each and every end. And more trailers on the other side that have not been set up yet. Here is another one. And another one. And dechem stations to mop out.
This is the FEMA Housing Staging Center, or area, whatever you want to call it, in Selma, Alabama. Every one of these is a housing unit.
Here's what blows my mind, and the reason I could say I feel as if they would hold people here temporarily. Like any good FEMA camp, built right beside what? Train track.
Why they got a train that's got 3 levels with little windows in it? Huh? FEMA trains, people, right here in our own city. Yeah, what else are they? Look how long that train is. It goes both ways. They got 3 levels. Little windows. Tell me what that is. Prison train? Those ain't for hauling cars. People, wake up. FEMA trains right here in our own city, people. Every one of these trains, 3 stories for, prisoners.
I have never seen so many Walmart trucks in one spot.
Wonder what those guys got in their freaking trucks.
Something serious, bro.
Yeah, for real serious.
What is in these assholes' trucks, bro? God, it's like guillotines.
Bothell, Washington.
FEMA Region 10 headquarters right up the hill.
Y'all gotta see what he hauling. Look, y'all, look. From babies to adults. I'm telling you, y'all, look at this shit here. When I tell you FEMA coffins is coming in right now, what the hell? I will pack up my family and get the hell on from out here.
You see, they got a bunch of them down there. Shit. Man, look, that's probably what it was. They've been on the ground and already. Nice how I put them down, though. That's pretty crazy. All of it.
We have this map that shows how the U.S. would be divided in the event of an emergency, if we can pull that up there. There it is. So this is how the U.S. will be divided into districts. You see 10 of them there. This is according to the National Emergency Center establishment. Can you describe what this map is? What exactly does that mean? I mean, it doesn't really make sense in terms of states as we know them. What is this classification system? What are the purposes?
It doesn't look like the map that you and I saw in elementary school.
Not at all.
Effectively, the U.S. has been cordoned off into these different districts, and so these new emergency centers will be spread out throughout the United States in most of these eventually, and it gives FEMA and the Department of Homeland Security jurisdiction over what goes on in these places during a time of emergency.
Okay, I want to go into what, because this act does make some specific examples, some exclusions, set some limitations, I should say. So the National Emergency Center Establishment Act, what it does not do, it does not authorize any federal officer or employee to force an individual to enter a national emergency center or prevent an individual from leaving a national emergency center. So, Bob, it looks to me like there are some safeguards there. If you don't like it, you can leave.
Well, I'd like to think so. And this was actually one of the other things that was changed in this new version of the bill. They added this.
So we're seeing that, this is the plan, the coming plan, the mental law. We're constantly warning you left and right. So let's go back and get a few more precepts. We'll close out. So we've seen in those videos that they have FEMA camps, they have FEMA train, which in fact are 3 tiers. Also, they have the FEMA trucks. So what are they preparing for? We're constantly warning. They're putting it right in your face. Also, these FEMA coffin. Also, they have the adult, and also they have for small children and infants. So we know that the body count is getting ready to be great, and we're constantly warning. So let's go back here. We get a few more. We'll close out. Hey, man, the Lord is constantly, he revealed his secrets to his servants, the prophets. Hey, the Lord said, keep not silent, warn them for me, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. And one thing about it, that when the Lord bring it, there will be no more talking. We're constantly warning you left and right. And the Lord's getting ready to bring forth this judgment like we have never seen before. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10 said, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Said, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. And one thing about it, we already know that the devil shall cast some of you into the prison. When you go into the word, devil goes in diabolos, which in fact, someone that is a deceiver, someone that is siding, with the physical counterpart, siding with the spiritual demons say, but it wasn't about the physical counterpart of Satan, Salaki. Let me start over. The devil that the Bible speaks of, is the so-called white man. He's the physical counterpart of Satan. You know what I'm saying? He sides with Satan. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it that we seeing right now, this devil is getting ready to get very busy. We already know that he's lining up these things left and right. He constantly is opposing and exalting himself against who? Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai. And one thing, some of you shall be go into these into prison, relocation camps, these re-education camps, these quarantine centers, these chimping stations. You know what I'm saying? Also, a lot of people gonna go to these guillotines, these firing squad. A lot of these things are coming into play. Gas chambers. They have all these things. We're constantly warning you, left and right. This devil is getting ready to get busy. And it said, be thy faithful. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord will give you a crown of life, immortality, rulership, spiritual power. We know that some of the men of the Lord are going to be martyrs for this truth. You know what I'm saying? We already knowing that, some of us are going to die. But one thing about it, we will get there. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, the victorious hour said to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we seeing that, man. We know, hey, we're here. So your faith is getting ready to be tried. And also, you're going to have to have faith when these things come upon us. And one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to show up with great glory and great power. So don't fear, don't worry. Trust and believe in Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai. You already knowing that, hey, man, we are so very close. And one thing about it, we're so very excited. So let's go here now to Second Ezra. Let's go here to Second Ezra. We get one more close out. Second Ezra chapter 16. Let's go here. Second Ezra chapter 16. So we already knowing that, that a lot of people are going to these facilities. Now, some of us will get delivered. You already know what happened in Daniel's in the lion den. Was it as many other that Peter and I can't think of the name, but Peter was in prison and he got released. Angels let him release and open up the gate. I can't think what scriptures escape me right now, but it's a lot of different stories where the Lord is going to step in on our behalf. It's going to use that supernatural intervention. Also, we know that the archangel Michael is getting ready to stand up for the children of Israel. It's going to be just that great. It's going to be a time of trouble that we've never seen before. Second Ezra chapter 16, we'll start up at verse 18. Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 18 said, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? What shall you do? The only way to be prepared, if the Lord has got to be on your side, that hedge of protection, a supernatural intervention that's got to come into play. How long, oh Lord? And we hoping and praying that we're part of the hopeful elect. We got to be circumspect, redeem the time wisely, because we get ready to go through some time that we have never seen before. Once again, so like it. So we're at the beginning of what? A famine. Say that this food is going to be food short of starvation. Great death. You already seen that's what they're preparing for. You know what I'm saying? Beginning of war. Beginning of what? World War III. We're seeing all these things that happen. Sorrows and mournings. The beginning of all of that. The birth pains. Things are picking up left and right. Even though we sound like a broken record, but we are here. It is at the door. And once again, all hell is getting ready to break loose. Verse 19, behold, famine, plagues, tribulation, and anguish are sent as scourging for amendment. Time to amend your way, examine yourself. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, constant walk accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Get your house in order, get your mind right, gird up your loins. Verse 20, he said, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. The truth there, they're not being mindful. They're not even considering. Don't know who they are. Don't know what time that we're living in. All hell is getting ready to break loose. Evils are growing all around us, and our people still constantly playing games. And all the games are about to be over. You're getting ready to be, grabbing your ankle. You're getting ready to be in pain and sorrow that you have never seen before. Jesus, hey, the Lord said, go cry to your gods in times of trouble. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, you don't know the true names of the Heavenly Father, you're going to be totally destroyed. We constantly want you. Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai. Only names under all heaven and earth in the entire universe and beyond you can be saved by. If you are part of the elect at this particular time, but all Israel will be saved. And one thing about it, that we're coming very close at this time. The Lord's getting ready to show up. Verse 21 said, behold, victuals shall be good and cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So that's plain and simple right there. These evils are growing left and right. A lot of people thinking that they're a good case. A lot of people right now, eating good, still have finance, or, still have their vehicle, a sense of norms. It's still what? Sunshine today. But what we knowing that this is the quiet before the storm. We knowing that it's getting ready to be turbulent time, a perilous time. It's a day of darkness, a day of gloominess. That great economic collapse. And also we already know that it was in the news too. Also that I think in Chicago, I think the Pepsi company up there, I think it was, I don't know how many employees got laid off, but they all lost their job, trusting in the strength of Egypt. And one thing about it, a lot of people gonna line up and take these crumbs off of Esau's table, and you're going to be totally destroyed. We're constantly warning you left and right. The Lord is not going to be playing any games. The Lord said, I come not to bring peace, but a sword. We constantly telling you left and right, but a lot of people are thinking that they're a good case, and these evils are constantly growing. We constantly warn you, it's a dark forecast. Could this be the possible dark one? And also, we already knowing that we haven't gotten any rain in October. What are they cooking up? We already know that they're saying, I think Thursday, that they said there's going to be a lot of rain in certain states. I can't remember the state. I know Texas is one of them. They constantly, bringing forth all these calamities and catastrophe, but it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So one thing about it, if you're thinking that you're a good case, you're in for a rude awakening. The Lord had gave you a reprobated mind, and you're going to be totally destroyed. The election hesitated, and the rest was blind. So now let's go to our last and final script. Let's close out in Jeremiah, because we at the beginning stages of this. We're seeing it right before our eyes. And the people of color are going to be public enemy number one. Jacob, the Latinos, the native Indians, the Negroes. I'm talking to you. Jeremiah chapter 30, we close out here. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7, let's close here. It said, at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Who shall be saved out? The house of David, the true believers of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. When you go into the word Jacob, he is the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel. And one thing about it is that, the Lord is getting ready to come back with great glory and great power to pull out his remnant. What is that remnant? The house of David, the elect, the true believers of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua is the only one is going to make it out of here alive. They're going they're going to be what? Translate out of this feeble body, out of this corruption into incorruption. Spiritual power, immortality, rulership is right at the door. All we must do is constantly walk in the path of righteousness. Keep the faith. Keep pushing, because the Lord is getting ready to show up. He's getting ready to do the rest. We cannot wait. So the title of the daily lesson, once again, is the coming plan. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.